If you hate math, just like I hate math, then this video is probably for you. We're talking about the IOA formulas and the keywords for the BCBA exam. When you're looking at IOA, right? Oh, again, my pen is malfunctioning, so it might have a couple trip ups. I think I just used the pen up from doing all my study notes on this iPad this time around. So just bear with it. I'll buy a new pen when I pass the exam. That's my contingency. All right, we're going over IOA. See, that's what I mean. And it does fix itself. See, IOA, formulas and keywords. If this is your first whiteboard video you've watched of mine, I do just want to preface, this is not how big you should be writing on your whiteboard when you take the exam, because you only get a sheet of paper. It's a standard size sheet of paper like this. And it's going to be like a laminated piece of paper with an expo marker. The thing does not erase. So anything you write is going to be there. If you want to get a new sheet of paper, the stuff you have written on goes away because they give you a brand new sheet. You can't keep two sheets at once. So just a heads up, I like to do like boxes in the corner to track my progress of like 25 questions answered, 50, 75, 100, and then 125, and then 150, and then 175. And I got to 25, I got to 50, and you just check off as you go, okay? Do whatever you feel is comfortable. This is just, it's kind of helping me write this out and talking it out, but it's also a good model, right, to show you what you could put on your whiteboard for the BCBA exam. Okay, total count is the first one we're gonna look at. I'm gonna change my width and see if that will help at all. Total, nope, it didn't. Guys, it's really bad this time around. Total count. Oh my goodness. I'm getting all these notifications. Total count. I don't know. All right, there you go. You can see it. It's beautiful. It's not beautiful, but it's there. Okay, let's just, first we're going to start with formulas, and then we'll go back into like keywords that I think you should remember for the exam. Total count is the only one that ignores time, right? You're going to want to write that somewhere. Ignores time. Ignores time. Oh my goodness. My pen messing up is definitely throwing me a little bit. But you're going to do the small number over the big number times 100. This is it's the lazy one. That's what we remember it as. Lazy. It's super lazy. It ignores the time. It's not going to give you the best representation of your data, but it's IOA nonetheless. We also have trial by trial. IOA. This is the agreements over the total amount of trials. Total trials. Times 100. You do this one for discrete trial training a lot. Discrete trial training a lot. Okay? Exact count. Again, we're just going through the formulas really quick, and we're going to go back through and touch on these a bit more, but exact count is going to be your strictest one. It's the intervals. I'm going to put this all in here. With 100% match. With 100% match over the total amount of intervals. Total intervals. And then you're going to times that by 100 as well. Times 100. Strictest. It's really hard to get a 100 on this. Like, that is like perfect data from both of you, which is what we want, but this is strict for a reason. I believe good exact count data would be in like the 75 to 80s on this. Just being like realistically speaking, right? I do like to touch on bias rules a little bit. Let me just make sure. I'm gonna keep it here for now for time's sake. But we have scored intervals. Oh. That's my S with my pen. Beautiful. Scored. Why do you hate me? Okay, I'm starting to think it's from my hand resting. I don't know. Scored intervals. Guys. So weird. All right. Scored intervals. And we have unscored. I'm deleting this. Unscored intervals as well. Scored intervals. When are we going to use scored intervals? We're going to use scored intervals when there is, if this would ever work, a low rate of behavior. Why? Because it's really hard to keep tracking a shit ton of no's if we already know it's not happening that much. So really all we want in the data is the agreed yeses over the total yeses times 100. Because we already know the no's are going to be like 95%, right? So if we're minimizing all that data down and only focusing on the yeses, it's going to be a lot better data than all the shit ton of no's. Unscored is literally the total opposite, right? It's for high rate of behavior. So we know 95% of the time it is happening. So what are we going to do? We're going to look at the agreed upon no's. Going back over that. Excuse me, sorry. Total no's. Times 100. Why? Well, I just kind of explained it, but you do not want to have all of the yeses in here if you know 95% of it is yeses. You only want to focus on the data you need, and that's the no's. So if behavior is constant, use unscored. If behavior is rare, use scored. You're only wanting to see the yes and then the no for unscored and scored. All right, let's go back through these one more time because these are tricky bastards. When you see total count, you're going to probably see words like overall, sum, right? That's what you're doing. You're looking at the overall sum, basically. I don't know. When you see trial by trial, you might see discrete in there. Wow, that's a word. I'm deleting that. That was just despicable. Discrete. You might see the words yes and no. Oh my goodness. Yes. No. Holy moly. For exact count, right, it's the strictest. We already gone over this. Precise. I mean, if you're really looking for data that is going to be the most precise, you're going to want exact count. That is the way it is. And then we went over these ones. If this explanation helped you, please let me know. It definitely helps me to just talk it all out. but I can understand that this is a confusing topic. This is definitely not everything you need to know. These are just main points that are helpful to see in maybe like this quick write. But it's, like I said, again, it's not a be and an end all. This isn't what you should use to just fully think you have IOA data down. Like, read the Cooper book, read what you have to read. This is just what I would recommend writing on your whiteboard.